I still heard the
Same
piano faintly in the background.
because I didn't have it on mute. An idiot. Welcome, everyone, to the season finale of the Saturday Brunch on No Credentials Required, where you don't need a press pass to talk sports. We are proudly presented by Belly Up Sports. My name is Ryan McCarthy. I'm one of your hosts. To my right is a man who's going to be smoking some meat over the weekend.
Oh,
Dustin
yeah.
Henry. Dustin, how are we doing today?
I'm doing all right. I could say I'm going to be laboring over the smoker tomorrow. Laboring because we have a long weekend here in the States to celebrate Labor Day. But what a great way to open the weekend. I mean, technically, I opened it last night with Kevin and Dan on Seahawks Sessions, but I have returned to my home base, my podcast prime, to join Captain, my captain, Ryan McCarthy. How are you this morning?
Doing really good. This weather we're having upstate New York is you can tell it's going to be fall very soon, and it's absolutely gorgeous. And I get the windows open at my house. We're doing some cleaning. I'm going to do some cleaning tomorrow. We have an action-packed day here on No Credentials Required. We got the Saturday brunch at noon, or Saturday brunch at right now.
Yeah.
At 5:05, it's Total Football Talk with Drew.
Oh, you pushed it to Saturday.
Yeah, we're doing a Saturday edition.
Okay, so I might have to check that out while I'm doing something.
Yeah. While I'm doing something.
Unclogging my sink, probably. I don't know.
That's not a euphemism. That's he's actually plugged this sink. But tomorrow I'm going to be power washing my parents' house, and Monday it's just going to be a nice, easy day. Doing some research for our football prediction or NFL prediction show on Tuesday.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to that. You said it's one of your favorite shows of the year. It is one of mine as well. We did predict the playoffs. We didn't predict the Super Bowl, but we predicted the playoffs on Seahawks Sessions. So some of my research is done, but the thing is, I got to figure out who the Super Bowl picks are. I got to figure out if I have any changing opinions based on my seeding, and maybe a dark horse team makes it in there that I didn't talk about on Seahawks Sessions. So there's plenty of reasons. If you saw me run my mouth on Seahawks Sessions last night, there's plenty of reasons to tune in to see me run my mouth again on Tuesday.
We'll figure out when we get there. But in the meantime, we're gonna get things going. We're gonna bring in our boy of summer, Kevin, for the final time in 2025. We're gonna do basically a blowout end of year or very early end of year Major League Baseball show, prediction show. We're gonna do some wild predictions, both on what will happen the rest of the season and who we think will make the playoffs. We're gonna talk about our hot food takes. We're gonna do a tailgate food battle. And we're also going to do our favorite, our traditions, which is becoming something new tradition on No Credentials Required. We're revealing our favorite athlete to where the number of the episode that is recording, which is number 61. So, but before we do that, I want to remind the people who are watching on our YouTube channel. This will be replayed later on the Belly Up Sports YouTube channel, our Facebook channel, and on the Belly Up Sports Twitter, because we're broadcasting live from there today. We just want to remind y'all to please give us a follow on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. Just search for No Credentials Required, and also check out our other podcasts and written articles at bellyupsports.com. On the podcast side, you can subscribe wherever you wherever you listen to podcasts, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Spreaker, Amazon Music, iHeart, TuneIn, Pandora, our YouTube channel, and on Podbean. And get notified on Twitter and on YouTube. That way you know when live shows are on. That way you know when we have show announcements. I posted on YouTube in our community this morning just to let people know, hey, got stuff going on in this channel today. And so again, we're a live show Tuesdays at 6:30 p.m. Eastern, Saturdays at 10 a.m. Eastern. We got a little bit of a late start today. That's on me, as usual. But we've already got a comment in the comment section from our friend Sapna, the pink hand of Sapna, saying sports ball. Yes.
It's always good to see the pink hand in the chat.
And exactly. So again, we are a live show Tuesdays and Saturdays, and we want to interact with you during the live show. It drives up our engagement. It lets people know that this show is available. And we haven't heard a whole lot of this tune lately, but Dustin on Saturday morning, and there's a certain time that I like to like to play.
5 minutes late, still on time for chime time.
Right. Never late, always on time for chime time. All right. And this Saturday, on Saturdays during the summer, we brought our boy of summer on. It's our Saturdays with Kevin. It's our season finale with Kevin.
Yeah. Yeah.
Our Saturday Brunch production for 2025. It's Kevin Wilson. He's our baseball guru at Belly Up Sports for fantasy sports and for the regular baseball chatter. So, Kevin, how are we doing this morning?
Oh, Ryan, I'm doing great. And as we said before we went live, it's cooler down here as well. And so we're living the life. And Dustin and I, we talked about how it's been such a long time since him and I talked. What is it, about 12 hours now or so?
Yeah, probably.
And,
yeah.
Yeah. So I'm really looking forward to the show and glad to be here.
All right. So we're going to do, as I mentioned in the preamble, we're going to do kind of a end of season blowout, very, very like a month ahead of time. We're going to talk about our three wildest predictions. We're going to try to take about 5 minutes or so for each of our wildest predictions for the rest of the season. Because we've got 1 month left. Got 1 month left in the baseball season, and October is quickly approaching. I mean, August just went flying by.
Yeah.
It's August 30th as we record this episode in the year of our Lord 2025. So we're going to talk about our three wildest predictions for the rest of the season. Could be player predictions, could be team predictions, could be division predictions. It's up to you. It's up to you. It's up to the panel. We're also going to reveal our picks for each playoff spot, division winners, and for the wild card. Since he's been our boy of summer this summer, I want to have you start, Kevin, with your three wildest predictions for the rest of the 2025 season. So I got my timer.
Okay.
I'll try to spend 5 minutes and change on each 5 minutes on each subject. So timer starting and go.
All right. So my first prediction is that it wasn't that long ago when we were talking about there were no hitters going on like every other week. But so far this year, there have been none. And I'm going to predict right now that for the first time since 2005, there will be no hitters thrown in Major League Baseball.
Wow. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's number one. Number two is that at the current time, there's one hitter in the National League who has a 300 batting average. That's Freddie Freeman of the Dodgers. And I'm going to predict right now that there will be no 300 hitters in the National League for the first time ever in Major League Baseball. The lowest batting average for a full season is 301 by Carl Yastrzemski in 1968, which was known as the year of the pitcher. And they responded by lowering the mound going into the next season. And I don't see what baseball can do now to change any of that. They banned the shift, and it is not helping. If you're a 250 hitter in baseball, you're considered above average. So for the first time ever, there'll be no 300 hitters in the National League. There's like 4 of them in the American League, so that's safe over there. And my last prediction, right now, Paul Skeens has a 9-9 record with an unbelievably low 2.05 ERA. He's going to win the Cy Young Award, but he's going to do it with a losing record. Wow. And that would be no pitcher has ever accomplished that. And over on Pardon the Interruption, Michael Wilbon's head will completely implode because he's the guy who talks about how wins are still monumentally important. And they are still important. I don't buy into that where they're just discounted totally, but he will win the award. The Pirates have already cashed it in on the season a long time ago, and he is the guy that he just can't get any run support like Jacob deGrom back in the day. So he's today's Jacob deGrom, and he's going to take it to the next level and win it with a losing record. So those are my 3 baseball predictions right now.
Interesting. Wow. And
oh man, you brought it. You brought it, Kevin.
You were concise and succinct, and wow. I'm
bold predictions. That's why you're the big guy, our boy of summer.
That's right. That's right. All right, Dustin, you are up.
All right,
and I'm on deck.
Okay, you're in the on deck circle here. All right, well,
I was in the hole, but now I'm on deck.
My predictions are not probably going to be as bold as Kevin's, so I guess I'll lead with my spiciest one first. Kyle Schwarber will win the MVP award after his 4 home run performance the other night. Kyle Schwarber's really starting to pick it up. I think Shohei Ohtani is the odds-on favorite right now to win the MVP. I'm not 100% sure.
You're
correct.
Think Kyle. You're correct.
Thank you. Let me bring up DraftKings, who was a sponsor of ours, not anymore.
But I believe Kyle Schwarber is also in the running. He might be. I think he was plus 125 the last time I checked the odds. But I'm going to say that I'm going bold, and I think Kyle Schwarber is going to finish out hot. He's going to take it because people's memories are short when it comes to the MVP award. All right, my second bold prediction is Cal Raleigh, the big dumper, will not break Aaron Judge's single season home run record. It's not that bold. I just don't think he has enough games left to do it. He's had an amazing season. He already set the record for the most home runs hit by a catcher in the season, but I do not think he will surpass Aaron Judge's AL record for home runs in a season, which I believe was 62 in 2022. A lot of twos there. And my last bold prediction, some people may think this is insane, but I think the Cincinnati Reds will make the wild card. I think the roller coaster stops. I think they do it. They've been up and down all season. They're streaky, and I think they're going to get hot just at the right time and streak into the playoffs. Now, do I think they last long? Probably not, but I think they're going to get there. And those are my 3 bold predictions. The Schwarber one probably won't happen, folks. Snowman, I see you in the comments, buddy. But that's the thing. We're trying to be bold here. We're trying to be bold.
So I did some real-time research, and on Fox Sports as of 4 hours ago. Yes, 4 hours ago, because everybody else was like 4 days or 22 hours. I'm like, no, I want the latest news. Shohei Ohtani is a minus 901 for ML MVP, according to Fox News. According to Fox Sports.
I'm being bold. Kyle Schwarber
is a 5 plus 500.
See, there we go. I'm being bold. He hit 4 home runs the other night. He's had a great season.
All right, we jump in the chat real quick. Brother Josiah saying, hi, everyone. Hello to you, sir. And Snowman, as you mentioned, Dustin checking in the chat saying, hey, Snowman checking in. Shohei wins the MVP, and it's unanimous.
Oh, he's got the all caps. I hear that in Snowman's voice when he does that.
I do too. And by the way, I may or may not be making an appearance on Snowman in the Morning on Monday.
Awesome. Labor Day with the coffee.
Because it's Labor Day. And Brother Josiah is saying, yes, absolutely. He is epic. Yes. I do not disagree there. All right. Let's go to my predictions. I'm up now. I'm in the I'm protecting.
You said that. You're like, I'm up now.
I'm up now. You're all in for it. You're all gonna pay. I'm a benevolent dictator. I would never ever do that. Okay. My first wild prediction. The New York Yankees missed the playoffs.
I almost said the same thing, Ryan. I was going to say Boston finishes ahead of them. Oh man,
not finish ahead of them in the wild card. I mean, miss the playoffs altogether. Look at the schedule for the Yankees for the rest of the season, outside of the series against the Chicago White Sox, and they're absolutely beating the pulp out of them. So good Good for them. Good for you guys. Good for you. You beat those teams. Yay.
Yeah.
But look at their schedule for the rest of the way. The first week in September, their first two series are at Houston, at home against the Blue Jays. Then they're at home against the Tigers, followed by a 3-game roadie at the Red Sox. If they lose 2 out of 3 in every single one of those series, and all of a sudden, looking at the wild card standing, all of a sudden, Kansas City gets hot, Texas Rangers get hot, Seattle gets hot, the Yankees are done. They're toast. And I just saw actually this morning that Walker Buehler was released by the Boston Red Sox yesterday or overnight.
Wow.
And I know the Yankees are looking for extra arms. You can add more to the roster starting next month. If I'm Brian Cashman, I'm reaching out to Walker Buehler in his tight pants and saying, "Hey, you want to be a Yankee for a spell? Help us in the playoffs? Help us on a playoff run?" I think he would, but I think it's too late because just judging from the first 4 series in September, that is a tough road to hoe. Especially if your team is talented as the Yankees, but can't seem to win because of their manager, who their manager is. My second bold prediction is that Cal Raleigh will not break Aaron Judge's 62 home run record.
You and I did the same prediction without talking about it.
No, that's right, we didn't. Didn't talk about it.
That's just how long we've been podcasting together, Ryan.
Well, I'm also doing the production side too, so I'm kind of paying attention, but I'm also not paying attention. Okay, here we go. All right, here we go. Here's the prediction. Shohei Ohtani will not finish with 100 RBIs.
Oh, that's a good one.
He has 85 currently.
Spicy.
He has 85 currently with a month left in the season. So I don't think he will, because right now he's going back to pitching. He had a pretty good night the other night against Cincinnati.
He did.
So, I think he allowed 1 run in 6 innings because they're trying to balance his workload too, because they don't want to waste his arm because he just had Tommy John for the second time in his career.
Yeah.
But I think Shohei, he has MVP numbers for sure. He does the dual thing. It's absolutely generational talent. I hate using that cliche, but yes, he is a generational talent. But I think he'll finish just short of the 100 mark for RBIs. Then my final prediction, my third bold prediction. This is a divisional race.
Oh.
This is a divisional race, and Kevin,
bring it.
San Diego finishes in first in this.
Boo!
There it is. There it
is. Oh man!
Now I gotta look at the schedule for the Padres in September.
They have the easiest schedule of the two.
There you go.
That, but the Dodgers schedule is not hard
because the Orioles, they got the Orioles and the Rockies the first week of September. They have a series against the Orioles and the Rockies. Then they got the Reds. They got the Rockies again for a 4-game set. Then they got the Mets. Then they're at the Mets, at the White Sox. They have a tough going in the middle, towards the end of the month at the Brewers, who are absolutely. I think they're all right. So for 3A in bold predictions, Milwaukee will win the World Series.
Oh my goodness. It's like you're reading my mind, Ryan.
And I'm sorry, Kevin, you will never hear the end of it from Vince.
I know. I'm already not hearing the end of it.
Not that you already don't right now, but
exactly.
Man, you will just be.
When they came off their 4th, and he corrected me because I said they won 13 straight, and he's like, no, it's 14. So get it together.
I can hear it in his ministerially voice. No, Kevin.
That's right.
15 in a row, 14 in a row. You can hear. No. I gotta try to get. I gotta get a good Vince impression because he's got that southern drawl, like subtle southern drawl.
I wonder how that's playing up there in Wisconsin.
That's a great question.
Yeah,
we'll have to bring him on and ask him. I haven't had him on No Credentials Acquired in quite a while, so he's a friend. I consider anybody who's been on the show I called him a friend of the show. So Kevin, you're a friend of the show.
I appreciate that.
Dan Cruz is a Daniel Cruz, the artist formerly known as Daniel Smooth. He's a friend of the show. Vince is a friend of the show because I've had him on for No Credentials Acquired and also for the old show, the Around for the Weekend.
Brent, friend of
Brent,
No Credentials Acquired.
Levac,
Cole.
Gaz, Cole,
Yeah, we got a lot of friends of the show, Ryan.
Got a lot of friends of the show, but I try to work on a Vince impression because he's got that Southern drawl, but he's also like a Midwest dude, even though he lived in the Ohio Valley for quite a long time. But no, that's 3A. Is that the Brewers will win the World Series, but I got San Diego winning the West. That schedule looks really easy. It just looks really easy. And if I go to the Dodgers schedule, real-time research is awesome. They have the Pirates, the Orioles, the Rockies, the Giants, and it gets a little tougher towards the end. The Phillies, the Giants, and then they're on the road. They're on the road the last week of the season at Arizona and then at Seattle.
That's at Seattle might be for more than one division.
It could be. It very, very well could be. And speaking of divisions, gentlemen, let's talk about the wild card. Let's talk about the divisions races. Let's talk about the wild card races and our predictions for who will be in the playoff picture come October. Come for the hunt for October. And I'm going to start with Dustin here. Look at the current standings. You got in the AL, you got Detroit and Toronto. I mean, Detroit's the number one seed currently by half a game. Houston's not that far behind, followed by the Yankees, who are first in the wild card. Boston and Seattle. Kansas City is only 3 games back. Texas is 3.5 games back. Cleveland is 4 games back. And then National League, Milwaukee, they're in first place by at least 5 games, 5.5 games, followed by Philadelphia and the Dodgers. The wild card, you got the Cubs, the Padres, the Mets, followed by Cincinnati, who unfortunately I think they're toast.
They're going to make it.
Followed by Cincinnati, back 5.5, San Francisco, Arizona, and finally the Cardinals.
Done.
In Miami, 63 and 72. Come on.
They lost you the wooden spoon, Ryan.
They lost me the wooden spoon. So did Toronto. They're winning in spite of what I said.
Toronto heard you and used it as motivation for the season.
It was a motivational. I'm pretty sure that if they have a postseason video that they put up, a hype video, my stupid face will be in there. 100 losses for the Toronto Blue Jays. So Dustin, I'll have you start looking at the wild card standings and the division standings. Which teams are going to the playoffs? Which teams are going to be in the hunt for October? Come October.
All right. Well, this is going to kind of dovetail with my bold predictions because I think, Ryan, we sound like haters. Okay, we sound like haters, but we're not.
We're not haters.
I think especially after the series they had against Boston, the Yankees can't beat Boston this year. And Boston, they just had a pitcher make his debut. He looked very good. Boston's got some young talent that is coming up. Roman Anthony's been he's been good for them. And, his father's name is Anthony, which I don't think I'll ever get over in my life. But the thing is, I'm going to say that in the NL East, Toronto wins the NL East.
AL
East. Yes, sorry. AL East. Toronto wins the AL East, and Boston finishes ahead of the New York Yankees for that wild card spot. They do not. The Yankees do not make the playoffs. Boston and Toronto are in. Now, I think Toronto goes all the way to the World Series, and let me tell you why. First of all, nobody expected this coming from Toronto this year, and they all seem to be gelling at the right time. And a lot of people forget they just got Shane Bieber back, and Shane Bieber looked very good for them. They acquired Shane Bieber, and he was rehabilitating, and he is back now. So the thing is, The thing is, I think Toronto could ride this momentum all the way to the World Series because we underestimated them. I am not going to do that. I've been very vocal on multiple shows that I will never underestimate Sean McVay again as the head coach of the Rams. I will never discount the Rams again because I've done it too many times. Same thing about the Blue Jays here. I'm taking what they're showing me. I think the Blue Jays make it all the way as the AL representative for the World Series. So I kind of jumped ahead there. But in the AL East, we got Toronto taking the division. Then we have Boston as the wild card slot in there. And then when we go to the other divisions, I think that in the AL American League Central, it's the Tigers. It's the Tigers. And then I think Kansas City's too far back. The AL West, I'm going to have the Mariners overtaking the Astros to win that division. And then I have the Astros going in a wild card slot. So let's see. Now I've got to go over to the National League, correct? Yeah. National League, I think the Phillies take the NL East. Phillies, they're too good. I don't think the Mets can catch them. In the NL Central, we got the Brewers. They're taking this division. I think the Cubs, I am struggling between whether the Cubs or the Mets get one of the wild card slots. I'm thinking out loud right now. I think I'm going to give it to the Mets. I think the Mets have a little bit more than the Cubs do right now. The Cubs offense started unbelievable to start the season, but they've cooled off considerably. In the National League West, I think it's the Dodgers. I'm going to disagree with Ryan a little bit. Even though the Padres schedule is easier, I think the Dodgers just have too much talent. And I mean, their pitching is an embarrassment of riches. You got Tyler Glasnow in there. You got Shohei Ohtani in the rotation. You got Emmett Sheehan. You got people I'm forgetting because the Dodgers just seem to acquire pitchers, and their rotation is their rotation depth is better than some teams' starting rotations. It's ridiculous. So I think the Dodgers survive. And then how many slots? I'm doing the math in my head. How many slots am I? Well, my bold
wild cards still.
Okay, so my bold prediction. So I put the Mets in there because I said I think the Mets make one of the wild cards, and then I think that because of my bold prediction, Cincinnati makes they make the wild card. I'm saying it. They're going to go because there are times where they get super hot and then you start to believe in them and then they die. But I feel like I just have a feeling that they're going to catch a heater and they're going to like scrape. They're going to be like your tailpipe when you go up a driveway and hit a bump. The tailpipe's going to scrape, but they'll get in there. They'll scrape in there. And so what do I have? One more wild card slot left. I give that to. Do I give it to the Cubs? No. This is where the Padres make it. Yeah. Yep. This is where the Padres make it. And there you go. And I've already revealed my respective World Series picks. I think the World Series is going to be the Blue Jays versus the Brewers. I think the Brewers take the title. They're too hot right now.
It'll be the least watched World Series since
I would watch
2023.
I would watch it.
I won't blame you. I mean, hey, two relatively fun teams.
I can't argue with Toronto right now. I just can't.
I understand. I get it. Kevin, go ahead. It's all you.
Okay, your playoff prediction. I'm not going to be nearly as bold as you all are in predicting the playoffs. So,
come on.
Okay, so as I think that the teams that are currently in are the teams that will stay in.
Okay.
And especially in the National League, I'm sorry, Dustin. Since if you had said this last week, it would make more sense because, believe it or not, Cincinnati was the last team to lose 3 games in a row.
Wow.
On the season. Wow. But unfortunately for them, now they've lost 4 straight.
Oh.
And so any momentum that they had is going away, and they're 5 games out of the wild card at current. And so we've talked about this on our show, Vince and I. Cincinnati, they get you pumped and they get you where, especially Vince's dad, who lives in the area, and make you want to believe, but then they just slam your head into a door and you're stunned. And so I'm not going anywhere with Cincinnati. I think that the Mets made some noise against them. Fortunately for Philadelphia, they're going to have the home field, so they're not going to have to work because that's a house of horrors. The Mets have beaten the Phillies every single game in New York.
Mm-hmm.
Every one of them.
Yep. That's their kryptonite right now.
That's right. Absolute kryptonite. But Philadelphia will have the home field. The Mets will win the wild card. Over in the Central, the Brewers are way out front. The Cubs are still playing pretty well, all things considered. And I'm still going with the Dodgers and the Padres. That rivalry has supplanted for at least now the Dodgers and Giants rivalry. And so that's going to go down to the end of the season because neither one of those teams have hard schedules. You mapped it out, Ryan. And so the 6 teams, like I said, are in. And I got to stay with my Dodgers. They're getting healthy, and I could have made a bold prediction. I think Shohei Ohtani pitches out of the bullpen in the playoffs.
Homer alert! Just kidding.
You hit him with the ball.
I had to do it. I'm so sorry.
Okay, that was a little late in coming, but yeah, okay.
It's all about timing, Kevin. It's all about timing.
Okay, that was out. Okay, and so that's my National League and the American League. Find it very difficult to believe that 2 New York boys are not believing in the Yankees. I know they got a tough schedule, but they're starting to get things together. So Toronto still wins the division. I think Boston wins. They're ahead of the Yankees, but they still make the playoffs. Kansas City and Texas. I'm in Texas. I'd like to believe in them, but those 2 teams have the pitching, but they do not have the hitting to make a difference. And so I think the Yankees still make it. And Kansas, like I said, Kansas City, and their pitching has been outstanding. And so has the Rangers. In fact, the Rangers and as of last we checked, the Rangers and the Padres are the only teams that hadn't given up 500 runs on the season. That's of the last weekend. It's probably not true now, but the hitting is, despite the fact that they scored 20 runs the other day, the Rangers, and they've lost Seager. He had appendicitis. They lost Evaldi, and they lost Simeon for the year. That's way too many losses for the Rangers, unfortunately. So I got Detroit winning that division easily. Then I would like to, because I predicted that Seattle on an earlier show was going to surge down the stretch. I have not seen that. And so I think Houston still wins that division. And they got Yordan Alvarez back, and he had a home run already for them. That's a big addition for them. And so all the same teams are in. So I'll going in with the Dodgers getting to the World Series. And then I still think you got to beat Houston, which I think is hard to do in the postseason. Dodgers, Houston, once again in the World Series, and Dodgers taking it. That's my prediction there.
Okay. All right. So let's go with my predictions here. Toronto wins the East, the AL East. And just for real-time research, Kevin, yes, you are correct. The Texas Rangers, they're actually the last team in the majors to give up 500 runs. They're sitting at 495 right now. The Padres are at 517.
Okay.
So you were right about one.
Well, I said as of last weekend, so I was still correct in my assessment.
So you are still correct. Yes.
Okay.
All right. So Toronto wins the AL East. There's no question about it. Even Yankees are they're still 3 games back, and Boston's 3.5 back, but Toronto is just too good. I got Detroit win the AL Central. They're running away. They've been running away with it since May. So let's just put that to bed. In the West, it's going to be Houston. As much as it pains me to say so, it's going to be Houston. For the wild card, I've got Boston winning the first wild card. I've got Seattle winning the other wild card, the second wild card, and I think Kansas City's going to make a run.
Oh,
I said,
spicy.
Look at the schedules. I said that the Yankees, the first 4 games of September are going to be a very tough road to hoe. You got to win at least. You got to win at least 2. You got to win at least 2 of those 3 games. If they lose 2 of those 3 games or get swept in any of those series, this is going to be it's bad news bears for the rest of the season. I think so. But I think I guess mentioned in my very wild predictions for the rest of the season, I mentioned that I said the Yankees are going to fall off, but I think Kansas City sneaks in. I think they sneak in because their schedule is much more friendlier down the stretch, because they get the Angels, the Twins, the Guardians. They got a couple tough series in the middle there with the Phillies, Mariners, and Blue Jays, but then they wrap up the year against the Angels and the homeless Athletics. I don't call them the
Sacramento A's.
I don't call them Sacramento A's. They're the homeless A's.
Okay, I'm okay with that.
All right, so that's my AL. NL, yeah, I think it remains the same. I think you'll see some positioning that will change. Although I'll say San Diego wins the West, Dodgers will get the first wild card spot, followed by the Cubs and the Mets. The Phillies and the Brewers, they win the Central. They win the Central and the East respectively. And my teams winning the pennant are the Brewers. I mentioned that. I said they'll win the World Series. I don't have Detroit winning the American League pennant.
Okay.
Like, their pitching's too good.
It's been too good, and they brought in a 47-year-old guy or so named Charlie Morton.
What's wrong with the 47-year-old guys, Kevin?
Well,
I just turned 48, damn it.
Okay. But I don't think you're towing the rubber in Detroit, but I say that respectfully, okay, because he was a couple of this past week, but the week before that, he was my fantasy baseball MVP.
Hey.
Because he pitched extremely well for Detroit. And if he can keep that up, which I think is almost impossible, but if he does, Detroit's pitching staff is awesome.
Yeah, they're amazing. Ryan, remember when I predicted on our MLB prediction show that Charlie Morton would be enough in Baltimore to stem their rotation until some of the injured pitchers returned? That aged like blue cheese.
Yeah, it did.
Aged like milk.
Yeah.
Blue cheese is already nasty, so that's really not
cheese is
helping
already fermented to heck. Yeah. That aged like bad milk. But,
that was bad.
That's our playoff predictions. Those are our wild predictions for the year. Before we let Kevin go, though, I do want to address one more thing. I put it in our show chat. But during our time off, Rob Manfred, the execrable Rob Manfred, commissioner of Major League Baseball, said that, and I'm going off an article on Forbes, that when the league, not if the league, but when the league expands to 32 teams, regional realignment could occur. And he says this, and I'm quoting here. He says, I think if we expand, it provides us with an opportunity to geographically align. I think we can save a lot of wear and tear on our players in terms of travel. I think our postseason format would be even more appealing for entities like ESPN, nudge, nudge, ESPN, because you'd be playing out of the East, out of the West, and that 10 o'clock where we sometimes get Boston, Anaheim would be 2 West Coast teams. That 10 o'clock slot, that's a problem for us sometimes because becomes a real opportunity for a West Coast audience. And he also says having 5 teams in the division is problematic from a scheduling standpoint. And I saw all these memes on social media from media outlets saying, oh, this is what Major League Baseball could have looked like with realignment. Well, first of all, actually, you know what? I want to get Kevin's perspective on this. I'll talk to Dustin, and I've got my own thing. So, Kevin, what's your perspective on Rob Manfred touting realignment? Not if, but when Major League Baseball expands to 32 teams.
Well, my only issue is there aren't enough players in Major League Baseball today to support 30 teams. So where in the world are you going to come up? Because if you add 2 more teams, that's 52 more players. on major league rosters.
We're going to invade Cuba. That's what we're going to do. We're going to invade Cuba. We're going to
Invade
take their
Cuba.
players. We're going to
Okay.
take their cigars, take their sugar cane, and take their baseball players. That's what we're going to do.
Which, okay, I get why they're doing it. 15 teams in each league is hard to manage. I get that. But anything that Rob Manfred says, you got to, it's like radioactive material to me. And so I'm not getting into that. And he needs to get baseball to a position where they get this deal done with the players before he worries about any other topic. Because if they don't, then there won't be any baseball at all. So that's what I'm coming from with that.
All right, Dustin, your thoughts.
Okay, so my first thing is, one, he's talking about doing this so that times are, we don't want Boston and Anaheim playing at 10. Start the games earlier. You could start the games earlier. There's other ways to slice this banana. Now, I know they'll never do it because they want the TV prime time slots. They want all these things, but if you want more younger people to get into baseball, play the games when kids can watch the games. That's part of it. Get younger people interested in baseball again. And to Kevin's point, I think expanding isn't necessarily the answer. I understand more markets is a good thing, but to his point, the talent pool is diluted. If you have no shots to the A's, because I think the A's, with everything that they're dealing with, is one of the better stories in baseball this year, because they haven't been absolutely terrible. They've given teams fits, and it's been entertaining.
They're not in last place in the American League West anymore.
The Angels are. The Angels are. Which my pick for the wooden spoon in the AL doesn't look. I mean, they lost 72 games. They made me look foolish at the beginning, but they got 72 losses right now. But still, not a shot at the Angels either. But I just isn't it so think. Am I thinking too small world in the fact that if realignment happens, you don't have some of the same old divisional rivals anymore? You don't have those rivalries that are built in that people don't like. That's my main issue with this. We've already diluted the All-Star game because of interleague play. Now, I personally enjoy interleague play, but I remember my dad saying he never missed the All-Star game because it was times where he could see stars from the other league that you never got to see throughout the regular season. So that's already gone away. I have no problem with interleague play, though. But to me, realignment takes this another step further, because if they shift teams around in the divisions to accommodate this expansion, then some of the rivalries, you could lose those, and you could have teams that don't play each other as much over the course of the year. So that's my main issue with this. And I don't know if you agree, Kevin. I don't know if I'm thinking about it too granularly or overthinking this, but I think it could dilute some of the rivalries that are built in.
I agree with you, Dustin. And at least with baseball, we can discuss realignment. Because I keep seeing these guys trying to realign the NFL, which is never, ever going to happen. You're putting energy into something that's not the Dallas Cowboys will never play anywhere but the NFC East. Ever. So that's completely out of the question. Along with Jerry Jones, and we talked about him yesterday, and he actually joined the show, just so you know.
He did a little bit.
He did. Yes. He did a little bit. So we can discuss a little bit about realignment in baseball. I think you'll lose some of the rivalries, like you're saying, but they already did that once, because remember the Cubs and the Mets were rivals.
Yep.
And
I forgot about that.
They were, and baseball was able to survive that, but they didn't break up Cubs Cardinals. So if they had broken that up, we'd have all kinds of problems. So. They need to take a very good look at and see how they, change things, because you obviously have to have the Dodgers and Giants and Padres in the same division. Have to have that. And you have to have the Yankees and Boston in the same division. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, what are we doing here?
And don't forget, Atlanta was once an NL
That's
West
right. NL West, and Cincinnati was in the NL West as well.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And how do you explain that? Where you're NL West and you're playing at on the East Coast.
Yeah, I mean, Ryan, I guess you could counter my argument as I'm thinking out loud and playing devil's advocate. New rivalries could develop because Mets Braves, they hate each other. And as you both just pointed out, the Braves weren't always in that division. So do you think with the expansion, new rivalries would develop, or are you kind of on the same page as me that they're going to break up these rivalries that we know so well?
No, here's the problem. This is why Rob Manfred. That's why I call him the execrable Rob Manfred, because he's an
what a great use of a word, by the way.
Thank you. This is why he's on the bottom of my power rankings for sports commissioners. That's why Gary Bettman's 1, Roger Goodell's 2, even though he's kind of an evil wizard. And Adam Silver is just kind of middling in 3, and then Rob Manfred is absolutely dead last. Actually, he's farther than last. What he's trying to do is that he's trying to make up what the NFL has already surpassed him with, and that is the 4 divisions and the 4-division format for each conference. He's trying to copycat it. It's not going to work.
Okay,
it's not going to work because baseball has, like you mentioned, Dustin, baseball has a youth problem. Baseball has trouble bringing in the youth. They have trouble bringing in a younger audience. I would say my nephew Christian, shout out to CJ Beast, who's currently at the Fire Academy in Utica, near Utica. He's an exception because he loves baseball. He's loved baseball since he was small, since he was this high to the ground. Baseball has a retaining a younger audience, and I know Rob Manfred's trying to do that. He's trying to say, "Hey, we're relevant too. We're keeping up with the times. We're going to go to 4 divisions when we expand to 32 teams." Okay, where are those 2 teams going to go? I know there's plenty of markets in America, and I'm pretty sure 1 or 2 in Canada who would like to get a Major League Baseball team, but are they markets where you can easily market? You can easily bring in a fan base. Can you get them started on the right foot like the NHL did with the Vegas Golden Knights? Remember, the Vegas Golden Knights went to the Stanley Cup final their first year because they took advantage of a lot of loopholes in the rules with expansion, with the expansion draft. They made a lot of trades, which enabled them to get the players in that they wanted. And they wound up having the most successful expansion team run, arguably in sports history.
I would agree with that.
I don't think you could do that with Major League Baseball because you saw the Rockies, the Diamondbacks, the Rays. The Rays took forever to get out of their hump, out of that slump that they were in for such a long time when they were the Devil Rays. I know they brought in a lot of Major League Baseball players to bring in fans to the market, but they were just so bad for so long. Florida, the Marlins, between being Florida and the Miami Marlins, yes, they've won a couple of World Series, but they still struggle to bring in fans. So you got to find the right market to go to in order to bring in the fan base. But at the same time, you got to be relevant to the times too. You got to make sure that you're not losing the younger fan base who are always going to other sports. They're always going. They make the way to the NFL because of fantasy baseball, because of fantasy football, because they market their players better. You see them go towards the NBA because the NBA is so high scoring. You see, I mean, even the NHL. I think the NHL could surpass Major League Baseball in viewership because you have an older viewership in the Major League Baseball. They can't retain a younger audience. The NHL is doing a better job in that regard. So I think among the big 4 sports right now, Major League Baseball is just ahead of the NHL, but you're going to see that position flip if we have this kind of plan. Because yes, expansion's fine, expansion's good. It means that the game is growing, but you're also, again, those teams get off to a tough start and take a long time to recover, and it's not worth it. It's not worth it. And this realignment plan is just silly. All the memes that came from after it for engagement or cheap engagement was also silly, and it's a silly idea. Before we let Kevin go, we're going to go to our comment section real quick. James saying, "Ryan, I am the look at me. I am the captain now." He also says the AL East and NL West had the potential to be fantastic. I think he meant division races, but he put pennant races. We talked about the NL West, AL East. I think it's been decided. I think Toronto still is miles ahead of the Yankees and the Red Sox right now. He also says nothing better in baseball than the playoffs. I agree. Desi saying hi, brunch. Brunch is always hard to wake up for. That's true. The White Walkers are always abound. That's why most brunches start at 10 and not 9. She also says, Kevin, Dustin, long time no see.
Yeah, it's true. And Kevin, before we let you go, I just want to say, well, first, we'll have you give us your number 61, but I want to say thank you for coming in and really bolstering our baseball coverage on the show. You brought it every show that you were on. We enjoyed the summer segment, and just thank you for your knowledge, your time, your research, and helping us expand our baseball horizons.
Yeah,
well, I appreciate you guys having me on. Anytime I could talk about baseball, I'm down. And you guys have been awesome having me here. So it's mutually, you're glad to have me. I'm glad to be here. So thank you guys for having me.
Yeah. And before we let you go, Kevin, let the people know again where they can find you. And again, who's your favorite number 61?
Okay, so I'm going to go with my favorite number 61 first and get the homer alert ready because it is a Dodger. It's Chan-Ho Park.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Okay. Number 61, he played in baseball, for 17 years, 9 of which he pitched for the Dodgers. And he was an all-star in 2001. And this is the interesting statistic to me. He pitched over 220 innings 3 times in his major league career. Players or pitchers today, they would go into a coma if they even thought they would come close to something like that. And he was an 18-game winner in 2000. And this is real interesting. He led the league in hit by pitches twice in his major league career and hit 138 batters. So you did not dig in when Chan-Ho Park was on the mound. And so we won 124 games. And so he is my number 61. And you can always find Dustin and I on Friday night on the Seahawks Session Show. We talked yesterday about who's going to win our division. We've talked about the Parsons trade. We talked food even over there. So you definitely want to check that out. Tomorrow night is the Sunday night Belly Up Fantasy Baseball Show. And Monday morning in most leagues starts the fantasy playoffs. So you don't want to miss that. Then on Tuesday is the Belly Up Fantasy Live Football Show. We're going to have a start and sit extravaganza. We'll predict all the divisions, who should start and who should sit in those. And so you definitely want to check that out. And like I said, I'm excited that you guys had me on. And anytime, you want to call, I will answer the bell. So
speaking of fantasy baseball, I am 2-19 in our.
Oh man!
I was a seat filler this year. I'll admit.
I wasn't going to bring that up, Brian. I was not going to.
No, I brought it up because I'm like I said, I haven't done fantasy baseball in a long time, and sometimes.
Well, we knew.
Sometimes I forget.
We knew that you were going to be in the caboose when you took 2 catchers in the first 2 rounds of the fantasy draft. So.
Oh, it sucks to suck sometimes.
Yeah.
And boy, did I this year.
Okay.
All right, Kevin, thank you very much for joining us on the Saturday Brunch edition. No credentials required. Again, you can check out Kevin's stuff on bellyupsports.com.
Oh, yeah. Belly Up website. Check me out. I've got an article that I just did. This is draft season. Let me just mention this real quick. And I've got players that are sleeper worthy from 10th round and beyond. So if you haven't done your draft yet, you need to check that out.
That's right. All right, Kevin, thanks for joining us again. We appreciate your time. We appreciate you joining us throughout the summer, talk baseball, and thank you again. We appreciate you.
Appreciate you guys.
All right. Oh, and Desi saying, thanks, Kevin. And she also says, oh, roll Tide. Because today is the kickoff. It starts the year.
Week 1, right?
It's officially week 1 in college football. So
man.
Tried to watch a little yesterday. It was on Kevin's raising his hand. Oh wait, no, he's just adjusting his glasses. Okay. Sorry, I thought you had a point.
No. I thought I was gone. So
I saw you going like this. I'm like, oh, Kevin's got to say something. And I'm like,
oh.
I appreciate the roll Tide, even though I'm not a Tide fan.
Yeah, he went back and forth. He said go Clemson last night, so that's probably a retaliation.
Oh.
That's right.
Yeah,
there
that's probably a retaliation.
All right. Thanks, Kevin.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to finish the rest of our show in just a moment. But before we do that, we just want to remind you about our newest affiliate sponsor here at No Credentials Required. That is Righteous Felon Craft Jerky, the outlaw of the snack world. Forget the gas station stuff. This jerky is all natural with low sugar and absolutely packed with flavor. Every 2-ounce bag delivers 20 grams of protein made with beef that has no added hormones, no antibiotics, and no shady business. But jerky is just the beginning. Righteous Felon's lineup also includes beef sticks for on-the-go snacking, tender turkey jerky that's light but still packs a punch and tastes like a Thanksgiving dinner, and authentic South African-style biltong that melts in your mouth. Their flavors range from the savory classics like OG Hickory and the Victorious BIG, which is their honey bourbon, to spicy kicks like Habanero Escobar and Carolina Reaper. So whether you want smooth, smoky, or fiery heat, they've got you covered. And don't forget, they even got Wild Ranger dog treats, so your 4-legged sidekick can join the stack game too. So head over to righteousfelon.com, use the promo code NOCREDS at checkout to score 15% off every order. Plus, when you spend over $50, shipping is free. Righteous Felon Craft Jerky, where flavor is the crime, and you're guilty of enjoying every bite, which is appropriate for the next segment, which is coming up. Hang on 1 second. I messed up. There we go. Which is the season finale of Hot Food Takes. Last time we're going to see that burger in action this year.
Yeah, it's going to be quite a while.
Although our Thanksgiving episode, because we are going to do a Thanksgiving episode again. We're going to do another live stream for Thanksgiving. We'll talk some food there as well. But Hot Food Takes, I figured it was appropriate that we talk about tailgate food. Because if you're familiar with football, especially college and professional football, the big thing is not just the game, it's also the pregame tailgate. Pregame tailgate is a tradition that is wide-ranging. I don't want to give the history because I don't want to make assumptions of how it started or where it started. But we talked about tailgating, and I also found, Dustin, the price of beer at every NFL stadium in 2025. Take a guess at which NFL stadium has the cheapest beers.
The cheapest beers. Okay. I'm gonna go now. We've gotten the ire of a lot of Packers fans with what we've said and done, but I'm going to give you a compliment right now, Green Bay. I think you got the cheapest beers in the NFL.
No.
Oh man.
Green Bay is actually, oh wow, they're far down the list. They're 17th.
Oh, okay.
$10.50. $10.50 could get you a beer at Lambeau Field.
Oh man, okay.
But the place that has the cheapest beers in the NFL, believe it or not, Paycor Stadium in Cincinnati.
Oh, wow.
$6.80. The cheapest beer.
Shout out to you, Mike Brown. You know, I often make fun of Mike Brown for being cheap. And you know, but he paid Trey Hendrickson. It's only for 1 year now, so you got yourself in a little bit of hot water. But hey, you're having the cheapest beers. Hats off to you, Mike Brown, for that.
Yeah. Followed by the Cleveland Browns Stadium, $7.15 for the cheapest beer.
Wow. Okay. All right.
Which I mean, if you're a Browns fan, you don't want to spend a whole lot to drown your sorrows every game.
You got to drink to numb the pain.
At number three, Ford Field, the Detroit Lions.
Wow.
$7.20.
All right. I'm not sure if Julie drinks, but she'd be happy about that. That the beers are not going to break the wallet.
Yes, I'm
or
pretty
the
sure.
purse.
I mean, you're going to spend over $100 on a ticket. You better have cheap beer.
Yeah.
Number 4, U.S. Bank Stadium, the Minnesota Vikings, $8.05. And notice all of these are towards the Midwest. Like the Midwest has the cheapest beer prices. So
yeah.
Number 5, Lucas Oil Stadium, Indianapolis, $8.18.
Was that the site of the Raw debut, or was that WrestleMania last year? I think it was the Raw debut. I might have on Netflix. I'm only saying that because I just watched Unreal. Go watch that thing.
Okay. All right. So I'll list off the rest of the bunch. The rest of the top 10. Denver is number 6, $8.29 buys you a beer at Empower Field at Mile High. Arizona Cardinals, State Farm Stadium, $8.31. Again, a place where you want to drown your sorrows because the team is terrible. Number 8, the Atlanta Falcons, Mercedes Stadium, $8.50. And by the way, the Atlanta Falcons have some of the friendliest, fan-friendly pricing in the entire NFL.
Wow. Okay.
Or anywhere, period.
Arthur Blank, hats off to you for that.
Yeah. Number 9 surprised me. Gillette Stadium.
The Patriots, huh?
$8.58.
We gotta go. We get a couple beers. Watch our Pats.
Get a couple beers. Watch the Patriots. Watch them Sox. Yankees suck. And then last but not least, but number 10, Arrowhead Stadium. I refuse to call it Jihad Field. Arrowhead Stadium, $9.20 will get you a beer. I just gotta wonder if it's a can, like a 16-ounce can, or you get like a 20-ounce beer. That's the thing. This article didn't really state. Oh, it's 16-ounce beer. Okay, never mind. 16-ounce beer. So
okay.
Shout out to 1075 The Fan somewhere. I don't know where you are, but this is the article I found it on. So that's top 10. The bottom 10, starting at number 22, Caesars Superdome New Orleans Saints, $11.75 for a 16-ounce beer.
Whoa. The Saints have no business charging that much.
No, you don't, especially for a team that bad. I mean, heck, if you drink enough, you could probably play quarterback for them.
Yeah. Who did they announced Spencer Rattler as their starter, didn't they?
I
think they did.
I'm surprised Kellen Moore isn't suiting up and playing for them.
I think they did. Oh man, get the rattle ready.
There we go.
If they don't have a promotion where they're selling Rattlers, what are they doing? Come on. Right?
Number 23, Hard Rock Stadium, the Miami Dolphins, $12 for a 16-ounce beer.
Again, ridiculous.
Now, this is shocking. Number 24, Energy Stadium, Houston, $12.79. Really? For a 16-ounce beer. Man. Number 25 and 26, respectively, because they share the same stadium, MetLife Stadium, the Jets and the Giants, $13.
Yeah, I knew they were going to be up there. That's we're getting close to $1 an ounce, Ryan.
Followed by the Chargers and the Rams, SoFi Stadium, $14.
Oh my God.
San Francisco, and then finally the final four, the 49ers, Levi Stadium, $14. Ridiculous. This one. Go ahead.
I'm going to issue an edict to the NFL at large. You want to get less people that are blackout drunk at your game? Stop charging so much for beers, because what they're doing is they're like, I already paid a bunch of money for tickets and parking. I'm going to get blackout drunk in the parking lot so I don't have to buy beers in the stadium.
That's why you tailgate. We'll get to the tailgating in just a moment, but I just want to bring this up because it pays to bring your own beer and tailgate pregame rather than buy beers at the game. Number 30 was another shocking entrant. Raymond James Stadium, Tampa Bay, $14.25.
Wow. $1 an ounce we are getting close to, Ryan. And I'm
over than $1
I'm gonna blow my top. I'm gonna blow my top if we get to $16 for a beer. I think we're gonna get there.
Oh, we're getting there. Number 31, Allegiant Stadium, the Las Vegas Raiders. It's $14.99 to buy 16-ounce beer at Allegiant Stadium. And then last place, and I hope they change it with new ownership. Commanders Field, the Washington Commanders. $16.49 for a 16-ounce beer.
We're over $1 an ounce now.
We are over $1 an ounce now.
We got to ask, okay, tonight on Total Football Talk, do me a favor. Ask Drew how much money he's paid for beers when he watched that Commanders game last year where I forget who was it, the defender on the Bears. That's who it was, the Bears. Yes.
Mary at the end.
Yeah.
By the way, at Lumen Field in Seattle, $9.71.
Okay, all right, that's not too bad.
And I'm looking for, because James mentioned in the comments that he says it goes a little over $11 a beer at the link. Makes me glad. I'll be too cold to drink while I'm in January. Yeah, $11.24 for a 16-ounce beer at the link.
Man, you're a braver man than I am, James. I remember Ryan and I've told the story many times when he said the Jets play the Seahawks, let's go to the game. I said, what week? And he said 4. And I said, okay. Because if it was week like 13, I was going to be like, no, man. No.
And actually, this was pretty shocking. AT&T Stadium, the Dallas Cowboys, $9.71 get you a 16-ounce beer. I wonder if they can have Alamos.
Well, Texas forever. We have an endorsement deal with Alamo Beers. It's been in place for many years now. Now, would you like to guess when I first started negotiating the contract? The most impressive thing is I started negotiating the beer contract at the Cowboy Stadium with Alamo Beer while I was still in college with the Arkansas Razorbacks. That's right. I negotiated that contract before I even owned the team. That's how great at business I am.
Mr. Jones, my name is Hank Hill from Strickland Propane. From Strickland Propane and Propane Accessories. I'd like to make you a deal to have the entire AT&T Stadium.
It's pretty good, Hank Hill.
Thank you. Fill with Strickland Propane for your propane needs.
Mr. Hill, I like the cut of your jib. I think we're going to do this.
Right. It'll include a suite at AT&T Stadium for every event, including Super Bowl, WrestleMania, and the Texas State Championship, High School Championship.
Mr. Hill, you drive a hard bargain, but I accept on one condition. Your son, Bobby, he cannot be allowed in the stadium.
Well, that's okay. He's coaching at the University of Tennessee right now. Wow, that was impromptu, out of control stuff. Thanks, Hank Hill. Thanks, Jerry Jones, for stopping by.
Yeah.
Does he say, I don't know you were having Jerry Jones as a guest today, and Hank Hill. This show is an instant classic.
Yeah.
All right, we discussed beer prices at stadiums. Now we got to discuss tailgate. I don't know how many times you've tailgated at a stadium, Dustin. I know we tailgated back in 2016 when we saw the Jets and the Seahawks.
We did.
I believe it was our friend Dave. He brought his brand new grill. He's breaking it out, breaking the cherry on that thing. And we enjoy ourselves some hot dogs and hamburgers and some Labatt Blue Lights with Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, the
colors
Zubaz
on them.
pants. The
Zubaz
Zubaz pants. Scott was like, I got the Zubaz cans. He was so excited.
Thanks, Scott.
Yeah.
I've been to a couple of other tailgates in my time. I went to Penn State back in 2006, actually. Oh my gosh.
Oh, wow.
And my friend Laura, her dad and her mom, they came down. She brought lasagna, so we had lasagna dinner on Friday night. On Saturday morning, we enjoyed ourselves some homemade sausage, bacon, sausage, and egg sandwiches. Her dad brought a griddle to do the sandwiches on. Also brought apple cider donuts from Lakeside Farm along on the trip too. So it was a great time. And the first tailgate experience, it sounds so weak. This is gonna sound so weak. So weak. Thank you, Uncle Roger. My brother Jim won Giants Cowboys tickets in 2009. Actually, it was my second tailgate experience. My first NFL tailgate experience. He won Giants Cowboys tickets. And instead of getting like the traditional grills, the traditional beer, like we bring all the stuff along with us, we decided to stop for Subway sandwiches and eat them in the parking lot and have some beers and watch and listen to the Jets and the Bills game that day. So that was weak sauce.
It's all right, man, because that's exactly you dovetailed into it perfectly. Because I've only been to 2 tailgate experiences. Now, I have heard from many, many, many people that the college game tailgate is elite, depending on where you go.
You gotta go to it's gotta be Division 1, like FBS. You gotta go to Division 1 FBS 1.
Yeah. And a lot of people are saying it's got to be an SEC team or someplace in the Midwest because those tailgates pretty crazy. But I've only tailgated twice. The one time was with you, and I enjoyed our hot dogs and burgers. And shout out to you, Dave. I still have that grill in my garage, so come get it. Come get it anytime. I've kept it under a blanket. I kept it safe for you. But I still have that grill. And then I did tailgate again when my brother-in-law was nice enough to invite me to a game. He had been given some tickets to Jets Seahawks from this past game, and we did what you and your brother did. We did a version of that, right? It was a cold day. We didn't want to bring a bunch of stuff. It was early in the morning, so we brought. We did sub sandwiches. We made our own. We had a variety of cold cuts there. I brought some chips and things, and we brought some beers. And so that's what I did. But I haven't had, like, you saw some of these crazy tailgate setups. We were nowhere near that. And as part of it, to kind of tie, before we get into our top tailgate foods, to kind of tie the beer segment together, I have a question for you. You are a beer connoisseur. I would put myself as a beer connoisseur too, but you're a level ahead of me. But I have a question for you because we discussed this at the last tailgate. We didn't want, when we were tailgating, we wanted light beers. We did not want like these big flavor profile IPAs or like these stouts or like these heavy beers. We went with Miller Lite because we're thinking we need something light. We need something drinkable. Don't want to feel full, sitting there at the game. So do you agree with that logic there?
I agree. Because you want to be sober for the game. You don't want to be entering the stadium, drunk off your arse, not paying attention to the game, going to the bathroom every other series to pee. So you want to drink something. You want to have like a light beer or even like a non-alcoholic.
Yeah, you could do NA. Yeah,
like you can do an NA, like athletic beer, like Athletic or other companies out there that do it. Because there's some pretty tasty NA beers out there, I will say. So I would say light beer. I would say a lighter, like a lager. Like if you want to go a little bit heavier on the ABV, I would say get a lager or a pilsner, definitely. But yeah, NAs, light beers, lighter pilsners, and lagers. There you go. But if you were to put together a tailgate, Dustin, what would your tailgate be?
All right. So this is assuming that I have the correct power sources. I have everything that I need to cook things up. Chicken wings. I love chicken wings. To me, they're an essential football food. They're my number one. Number two, I'm going to go through these lightning fast. I'm only picking three. Number two is ribs. If I had a grill or a smoker, which I've seen people set smokers up,
I have
I'm
too. Yeah.
I'm going ribs. I'm going ribs. It'd be fantastic to do some ribs at the stadium. You know, you'd have to like pre-smoke them the night before or something.
Yes.
I don't know what people do. I don't know how they do it, but yeah, ribs are my number two. And then rounding out the top three, we did one of them, hot dogs and burgers. To me, that's like a perfect, you got to do a little setup, but it doesn't take too much. And hot dogs and burgers, highly customizable. You can get a bunch of different condiments. People can put on there what they want. Maybe you can grill up some onions if you got like a flat top. Maybe you could do some smash burgers, cook a little bacon. Fantastic choice. Those are my top three. I pass the ball to you, sir.
All right. So number one for me, especially if it's an early game, like a 1 o'clock game, I would definitely do breakfast sandwiches again.
Oh, that's a perfect. I can't believe I missed that.
Egg, sausage, bacon, ham. Taylor. If I'm in New Jersey, Taylor ham. Yes, Taylor ham, not Taylor pork roll. Get it right.
Oh man. Oh boy.
I'm waiting for Jersey G to come in the comments and say it's Taylor pork roll. So breakfast sandwiches. That's my number one. Number two, sausage and peppers.
Oh, that's a great pick. That's a good one.
I mean, I don't know, on an October, November day, walking through the parking lot at MetLife or wherever you're going, and just you smell the sausage and peppers just wafting from the Italian guys all the way down in one of the other parking sections. You're like going, hey, we should do a food exchange. Like I'll give them some hot dogs and hamburgers or some sandwiches, and they give me some sausage and peppers. That would be amazing. But yeah, sausage and peppers, it's another one. And number three, I want to think outside the box for number three.
Okay. Right.
I would bring a propane-powered pizza oven.
Ooh, nice, like an uni or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like a solo stove, one of those solo stove pizza ovens.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, I said, think outside the box while I'm drinking some light beers or some coffee or some good coffee. Ooh. All right, it's gonna sound weird. Espresso martinis.
Oh man, Ryan, you're gonna be hammered heading into the
No. You don't. No, this is what. Okay, so this is what you do. You get the light beers. You get the espresso martini, because actually espresso martinis can come pre-packaged.
Mm-hmm.
I've had them before. They're really good.
Okay.
But also get copious amounts of water because you want to stay hydrated.
Yeah, you got
whether it's 80-something degrees outside and it's the first week of the season, or if it's below freezing and it's in January, December. So you definitely want to stay hydrated. So I mean, the light beers will be great, but you also want to stay hydrated. So that's for sure. James saying it's Taylor ham because it's eponymous. Full disclosure, I'm from New Jersey. It makes no difference to me what it's called. That depends on which part of New Jersey you're in, James, because I'm from New Jersey too. I'm an OG. I'm an OG from New Jersey. So if you're in the northern part of Jersey, it's Taylor ham. If you're anywhere in the southern part, it's Taylor pork roll. Those people are weird because they also vote for Philadelphia teams. And that's been this edition of Hot Food Takes. All right, we're gonna wrap up our show. Our final Saturday Brunch edition of 2025. We're gonna wrap it up with our favorite athletes to wear the number 61, because this is the 61st recording of the canon version of No Credentials Required for the year 2025. Although technically we have 65 episodes in the can as of today, but this is according to canon, it's 61. But we're going to reveal our favorite athletes to wear number 61. Dustin, go ahead and reveal your favorite number 61.
All right.
We'll have to get a certain button ready.
Yes. We're going to need the Homer alert.
Here we go. It's Homer alert.
Because for the second show in a row, I'm picking a Seahawk. And for the second show in a row, it's a center. and it's Robbie Tobeck. Robbie Tobeck is often the forgotten. Robbie Tobeck also played guard, but in my memory, he played center on one of the greatest lines in Seahawk history. He was a Pro Bowler. It included Walter Jones, Steve Hutchinson, Robbie Tobeck, and with Max Strong blocking for Sean Alexander. I will always have a soft spot for that line because that line was the line that got us to the first Super Bowl, which I hate talking about. The Seahawks were jobbed in that game. Everyone knows it. But that line was fantastic. And for the first time in a long time, I feel like the Seahawks have potential to have another line, not as good as that one, because that line's got 2 Hall of Famers on it. But they have the potential for the line to be finally a stable place. But Robbie Tobeck, often the forgotten man, because everybody knew about Steve Hutchinson, everybody knew about Walter Jones, and deservedly so. But Robbie Tobeck, also very good. I believe he originally started in the as a rookie with the Falcons in 1993. And then after that, he was traded to the Seahawks, or he was acquired as a free agent by the Seahawks, and he played the rest of his NFL career with them. He retired. He retired after a playoff loss to the Chicago Bears. I remember that playoff loss. It was brutal. At the end of the 2006 NFL season. But Robbie Tobeck, the forgotten man, he made the Pro Bowl team in 2005. That is the Super Bowl line right there. That is the line that I was thinking about. That's why Robbie Tobeck came to mind. I almost picked O'Neal Cruz for this because he did wear 61 with the Pirates. I think he either wears it now or he wears 15 now. I can't remember. But to me, O'Neal Cruz still too young. But Robbie Tobeck is the first player I thought of. He's my pick.
All right. And I'm going in a different direction for 61 because we're actually entering hockey. We're entering one of 2 lands here. We're entering offensive and defensive lineman land. We're also entering hockey player land. And I chose a hockey player for my favorite athlete to wear number 61. My favorite number 61, even though he played for those dirty New York Rangers for a while, Rick Nash.
Oh man,
go ahead.
I'm so mad at myself because I love Rick Nash and I can't believe he just didn't. But that's why you're here to pick me up, Ryan.
That's right. Number 1 overall pick of the Columbus Blue Jackets in 2002. Spent the first 8.5 seasons with the Columbus Blue Jackets. From 2002 to 2003 to 2012, believe it or not, did not win Rookie of the Year in his rookie year. But he was the Rocket Richard. He was named to the rookie team, all rookie team in 2003. But he won the Rocket Richard Award for most goals scored with 41 goals in 2004. Was named to the All-Star team that year as a 19-year-old, believe it or not. Also scored 19 power play goals that season. So he led the league in goals and power play goals scored. And then was an All-Star 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He was All-Star 5 other times. Did not play in 2005. He spent that year in Davos in Switzerland. But he remained one of the most elite scorers in the league, even though he was on complete dog water teams that were the Columbus Blue Jackets back in the day before they became better in the mid 2000s or the mid 2000 teens. Was traded to the Rangers but actually right before the 2012-2013 season. Spent 5.5 seasons with them. So I apologize. He spent his first 9 seasons with the Blue Jackets. Was traded to the Rangers in 2013. Helped bring them to a Stanley Cup appearance in 2014. They lost to the Kings in 5 games. Haha. but was still a major part of that team. Last season was traded to the Boston Bruins during the 2017-2018 season. Scored 6 points for them in 11 games appearing for them. One of those guys who was touted very early in his career is going to be one of those high scoring guys, and had a pretty good career. 805 points in 1,060 games, including 437 goals. Was a left wing, had a nasty shot. And if you go after this program, if you go to YouTube and you just look up Rick Nash's goal versus the Arizona Coyotes from, I think it was either 2004 or 2003, 0304 or 0506. One of the most spectacular goals you'll ever see, because he just uses his deke, his overhand, backhand, and just dekes two defenders to score a goal against the Arizona Coyotes. At that time, the Phoenix Coyotes. Mm-hmm. But absolutely brilliant, a great goal scorer in his own right. I don't know if he'll be Hall of Fame. I don't know if he'll be in the Hall of Fame. I hope he does go to the Hall of Fame, because he was that good of a player. Unfortunately, he battled some injuries along the way. Still played over 1,000 games in his career. Desi saying her favorite number 61. Here's the education. Here's the Roll Tide education. Brought to you by Desi. Number 61 is Anthony Steen, who played offensive guard for Alabama in the early 2010s. He was part of not two, but three Nick Saban national championship teams in 09, 11, and 12. Signed with the Arizona Cardinals in 2014. Finished his career as a center with the Miami Dolphins in 2017 with a foot injury. I'm so sorry he had to play for the Dolphins. Even sorry he finished his career with a foot injury. James also saying, going with Rick Nash, tremendous player and the first real superstar Columbus ever had. Absolutely. And he said, I'll reluctantly throw in Mark Stone because Vegas Golden Knights.
And also Rick Nash, as I remember him, I always tie in video games somehow. Rick Nash was the cover athlete for NHL 2K9, and I had that game, and I remember. And speaking of video games, if you are interested, I will be conducting a test stream later today. Going to start getting ready for Extra Life. We'll get into that on future shows as it gets closer.
You know what? Talk about that. I was about to say, you're talking about video games. We're about to approach Extra Life season, so why don't you guys go ahead and, for those who don't know what Dustin does every year to raise money for a local hospital, why don't you go ahead and tell some of our newer cred heads about your efforts?
So in 2018, I lost my mom to cancer. Unfortunately, I still miss her every day. But as a result of that fight that I saw her go through, and I saw her, fight valiantly, I started thinking there's no universe where a kid should have to go through this fight. And I had heard about this thing called Extra Life. I had watched a podcast team and company that I really enjoyed do it for a couple of years. I first heard about Extra Life through Kind of Funny, and led by Greg Miller and Nick Scarpino and the boys. And I decided after 2018 to get involved. So I do my own Extra Life stream. Believe it or not, this will be my 8th year, I believe, doing Extra Life. So game day is November 8th this year. And I have set up a Facebook fundraiser if you follow me there. And I also, if you go to extra-life.org and you search my name, Dustin Henry, you can find my donation page. If you feel inclined, I am raising money for the Bernard and Millie Duker Children's Hospital at Albany Med. It is a hospital local to me. And I will be attempting to stream games for 24 straight hours or as long as possible on November 8th. Usually Extra Life game day is the first Saturday in November, but that's the day after Halloween this year. So I think they wanted to avoid that. Again, it is November 8th, and I will be streaming via Twitch. So if you feel like it, tune on in. I usually have people pop in. It's very supportive I get great support every year, and I'm hoping that if you're new to the show, join me and check it out. Join me and check it out. I'll reveal the roster of games as it gets closer. My friend Chris is going to be joining me remotely for most of it from where he lives, and I'm sure Ryan usually stops in. Last year he stopped in. We ate some ramen together. Well, I ate some ramen. Ryan, you got ramen too, didn't you? But it was a fun. It was fun time.
I got 5 guys.
Oh yeah, that's right. You got 5 guys. That was a great pick. And so
$32 for 5 guys.
I know. It was pretty ridiculous, but I always appreciate Ryan's support and giving me this platform to talk about it. But I'm starting to set it up. I usually get things set up in late August, and here we are. So there'll be more information, but again, the website is extra-life.org. Ryan's been good enough to put it in the banner at the bottom there. And tune in on the game day if you can. I'll usually start it at 9 a.m. Eastern time, and donate if you can, raising money for sick children so that they don't have to deal with cancer or other horrible diseases. Your donation is tax deductible, and 100% of the donation goes to the people who need it. Extra Life, as a charity affiliated with the Children's Miracle Network, they do not take any money out of your donation.
Oh, geez. I'm all over the place right now. Well, this has been a show.
Oh, yes, it has.
For the season finale of Saturday Brunch, this has been a show. We had Kevin Wilson on talking about baseball. We had Jerry Jones stop by. We had Hank Hill stop by. It was a banger of a show.
It was.
But as we say goodbye to our Saturday Brunch edition of No Credentials Required, we're gonna bring in heavy on the NFL coverage starting this Tuesday. This Tuesday at 6:30, it'll be our annual NFL show, NFL preview show. We'll talk about every division, how we think every division race will work out. Which teams will make the playoffs this year, which teams will win the divisions, which teams will be in the playoffs as a wild card, which teams are going to be in their respective conference championships, and finally we reveal our Super Bowl contenders and our Super Bowl winners. I won't be as extreme as last year when I picked the New York Jets to go to the Super Bowl and win the Super Bowl, because that didn't work out, and I had egg over my face for the entire season. I felt like a complete moron.
It happens. I picked Baltimore to win the World Series.
I picked Baltimore to go to the World Series. I also picked the Dodgers to win the World Series, but I don't think it's going to happen this year, considering the heater that the Brewers have been on. But yes, 6:30 p.m. Eastern. Join us live on Facebook, on YouTube, and on our Twitter page. Actually, I'm probably going to see if I can get the Belly Up YouTube page for our NFL preview. For not the YouTube page, the Twitter. Belly Up YouTube, Belly Up Twitter, and Facebook, so people know that we're out there. And also listen a little bit later. As far as I was asked about college football, Dustin, I know Dustin's not a big college football guy, but we may have some YouTube exclusive content for college football coming down the pike, because I'm starting to follow it more this year. Guys, our friend of the show, guys, has convinced me. He sent me his 17 parlay as or as he likes to call it, and I'll bring up the text message he sent me the other day. The Emerald Lagazi back in the kitchen with his 2025 college football parlay. And he had an 18 parlay last year, hit all 8 of them.
Oh man.
And got himself a lot of coin. So I'll put it that way. But I'm gonna see if I can bring him in for some college football content from the summer for the year. Maybe we'll do like a Monday edition, like a pre-tip edition, or on Sunday, or even on Sunday we'll do that. So, and Desi says, Dustin, just say "Roll Tide" once.
Roll damn Tide. I didn't say it. Jerry said it.
Jerry said it, and he's in Arkansas, man.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're going to get out of here. Before we get out of here, just want to remind you to follow us on social media. on these pages, on our Facebook page, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. Just search for No Credentials Required. And also check out other podcasts and written articles at bellyupsports.com. On the podcast side, you can subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts, and that includes Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Spreaker, Amazon Music, iHeart, TuneIn, Pandora, our YouTube page, and on Podbean. And also don't forget to hit notification bell on Twitter and on YouTube. That way you get notified of live shows, you get notified of show announcements, you get notified of show clips going up. And actually, one other thing I forgot to mention, and I mentioned this will be the last thing I mentioned, I promise you. I promise you this week. For today's episode, we were thinking about rebranding our page, and our particularly our podcast logo. And this is one of the markups that I made. Oops, hang on. This is one of the markups I made.
I forgot about this. For a second, I was like, I didn't see this one. Yeah,
that's mine. Here's Dustin's.
Oh! I look like I'm going to invite you inside my house for a nice lemonade.
Oh man, it better be Larry's lemonade.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to get out of here, folks. We're going to enjoy our respective Saturdays. I'll be back on this channel at 5:05 Eastern with Drew Willingham for Total Football Talk. Talking about CFL, talking about some NFL news, including Terry McLaurin getting a new contract with the Washington Commanders. We'll also talk about the Micah Parsons trade. So you want to tune in at 5:05. Talking about all sorts of football. Dustin's going to be on his Twitch channel, which is twitch.tv/eldusto67. So if you want to check him doing a test run for Extra Life, which is coming up in November. He won't be on that show, FYI. He won't be on that show for November 8th. I'll be sure to bring in a guest for that one to fill in and talk about the NFL, previewing that week and the Thursday night game as well. But in the meantime, thank you for joining us in No Credentials Required, where you don't need a press pass to talk sports. We are presented by Belly Up Sports. For Dustin Henry, I'm Ryan McCarthy. Have yourselves a safe and fun Labor Day weekend. We'll see you back here Tuesday, 6:30 p.m. on our YouTube channel, on the Belly Up Sports Facebook and Twitter channels, doing our 2025 NFL preview. Don't want to miss it. So we'll see you then. Have a great weekend.
Good morning, everybody.
Gosh, it's a late morning too.
It is.